This is a relative warning, a disclaimer if you will, for this video. There is obviously a lot of tongue in this video.
Whoa! Hold up!
911.
Officer, right there. Come on in, fella.
There's no footage of piercing a tongue. There's footage of swelling. There is no bleeding, but there is swelling in this video. So if you're uncomfortable with that, I would advise you to go to Dairy Queen and get the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookie blizzard, because it is absolutely delicious, and do something better with your life than being on the internet for long periods of the day. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Hello world and all who inhabit it. Don't mind the way that I look in this video. I tried to go for the whole like dead girl aesthetic, and yeah, I did dye my hair yellow, which there will be a video on. However, I will be changing it very, very soon because I am tired of looking like somebody pissed on top of my head.
Bathroom, I got to pee. I'm gonna sprinkle all my tinkle.
So let's move on to the first day. As for the overall pain of the piercing, it was painful, but it wasn't like agonizing. It kind of felt similar to if any of you out there have a vertical labrae like myself.
Number 3, my lord.
Oh, okay. Number 3.
Lord Farquaad, you've chosen.
Aftercare rules include no solid food for at least the first week, no dairy for it can cause infections, no straws cause it can cause swelling, rinse with sea salt soaks or with a sensitive alcohol-free mouthwash, and lastly none of that gok 9000 for at least 2 weeks.
So day one, I did have solid food. I don't think they had any soft food at the food court, unless I just waltzed up to Subway and was like, hey my G, give me a fucking bucket of just slimy ass fucking turkey slices. My tongue was very swollen. The lisp was instant because they put a very long bar. Well, it wasn't like too much longer than the one I have in now, but it is definitely longer and it definitely does cause a lisp.
I may like Pancake more than other people. It's just who I am. I sacrificed so much of my life. Can I at least get laid? You know what I mean? I've been robbed of most of my money. Can I at least get a blowjob?
The worst part I would say about day one was just eating. I tried to eat solid foods on the first day, even that was excruciating. As for day two, the pain, like the relative throbbing had gone down, and I really only experienced pain when I was eating again or drinking anything.
I got pierced yesterday, but I was out with my friend yesterday, and I didn't want to ruin the moment by being like,
It's all about me.
swallowing hurts, talking hurts, breathing hurts, existing hurts. Now it's not only mentally for me, it's physically. I'm stubborn, I'm hungry, and I don't only want to live off of mashed potatoes because that sounds like actual masochism.
Now, a mistake that I made was using straws. That's another rule. You're not supposed to use straws because it can create what people call a titty tongue, because all of the swelling is pulled towards your piercing and the blood can collect underneath of it, and it can actually just like make like a little titty on top of your tongue, and nobody wants a titty on top of your tongue unless you're into that. I am not gonna kink shame you.
Kink shaming is my kink.
As you can see from this disgusting video, there is a lot of swelling. The bar is indented in the top of my tongue, and it's kind of not really indented in the bottom, but there's so much swelling. My tongue is so fat that it's kind of pulling. So unfortunately, that day on day two, I did have to go to my main source of depression, aka my job. I've been working there for almost 3 years, and I just makes me sad every time I think about it. I was at the registers for 5 hours, and as I said before, it was very difficult to speak to people. But the good thing about going to work that day is that we did have these Panera's soups, like the Panera like self-serve soup thingies. It was disgusting, but I ate it. Now by day 3, the swelling on the outsides of my tongue had begun to go down. I could start to talk a little bit better, but obviously the pain during eating was still there. and really nothing else. I don't think exciting happened on day 3 other than just the swelling going down a little bit. On day 4, the swelling overall around the piercing had gone down to the point where you could see, if I put my tongue out, you could see the little bar at the top, just a little bit of it, and a little bit of the tittiness had gone down, just slightly, not enough to really be noticeable, but just a little bit. Day 5, the titty was in full effect. I am not gonna lie to you. It was a mountain on top of my tongue, and I swear to God, if I had that much breast tissue, I would be an absolute fucking thought. I would be coochie slinging everywhere.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I want that and I desire that. I need that. I'm dreaming about that, man. Give it here.
I tried to do the right thing by the care instructions and get an oat milk latte from Dunkin' Donuts because they're delicious. And they burnt my fucking oat milk, so fuck it. Getting regular coffee. This is what I get for trying to follow rules and being a Leo at the same time. I hate it when people like look into the car. They'll get out of the car, look over, see me looking, like see me sitting in there and go, "Can I fucking help you?" Could never be me, except it probably is me. This is why I keep a shank in my car at all times. In short, delete the whole human race because I'm over it. Still pretty swollen, but it's only in day, what, like 4? Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's day 5, damn.
As we were getting closer to day 6 and 7, the pain relatively was pretty much gone in my tongue, except for right around the piercing sites, like right at the entry and exit points. And the lisp had considerably gone down, even though every single time I went into work, Yelisa would clown me for my lisp and literally walk up to me and go, "How's your lisp?" As for day 7, there's nothing really different from day 6 in my personal opinion and my personal experience. It was pretty much the same as day 6, except the swelling had gone down a little bit more. And as a result of that, the lisp again had gone a little bit down. And I would say all of the symptoms didn't go away until maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks after getting the piercing. However, they do say that the recommended wait time and full healing process is 4 to 6 weeks. I personally waited 4 weeks to change my piercing. I was very, very scared, and this took way too long because my hands were shaking. I was being a baby back bitch because it did not hurt at all. It literally took me like 30 minutes to get this shit in my mouth because I was shaking the entire time because I was like, okay, I gotta like unscrew the top part and then sit it here and then put it on top and then feed them through together. That did not work. So I just like took one out, put it in, didn't feel anything. Like you literally cannot feel the bar going in your tongue at all. It's just in, out, that's it. Kind of like sex, but kind of not.
Later that same evening.
Today is the 21st of May, which is abso-fucking-lutely crazy. How is it already May? How is it almost June?
Good evening, everyone.
Is she alright?
I swear to God, ever since Corona and quarantine have hit, time is not real. It's not. I am convinced because I have no concept of time. I am a little bit disappointed only because I saw in the listing that it had one that said party grill on it because it was supposed to be like party girl, but it said party grill. Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to be a party grill. I thought it was funny, but I did not get that in this, which is high-key big sad. Because that's the one I kind of wanted the most out of all of them. Now on to my personal pros and cons for the tongue piercing. Pros are it looks really cute. Apparently it's good for not safe for work thing.
Alone was I with tender courage, and all his fur, his furry footage, which I say did encourage me to be quite naughty.
I wouldn't really know the validity of that statement, but apparently it's noise. So take that as you will. As for cons, the only real con that I can see is people saying overall tooth and gum damage. I don't know about that. Maybe it's just like the more you play with it kind of thing, the more damage you get. And the only other con that I can think of is that food sometimes gets stuck underneath it. Not on the bottom part of the ball, but on the top part. It gets stuck underneath, especially when I'm eating spaghetti. A bitch will just wiggle its way around the base of the bar. If you have a vein or both of your veins in the middle of your tongue, you're not going to be able to get a standard tongue piercing because
You will
terms for comfortability, I don't feel it in my tongue unless I'm talking, but if I'm just sitting there, not doing anything, binge watching YouTube videos, I don't feel a thing. You do not feel like the specific part that goes through your tongue, you do not feel that at all. It just feels like there's something on the top and the bottom, again, only when you're talking, after it's healed, obviously. But it's not uncomfortable, it didn't damage my teeth yet. So basically, in my personal experience, the pros and cons are kind of like even each other out because I have 2 for both. Also because it makes you incredibly paranoid about your oral hygiene, because I don't think anybody wants an infected tongue, because a bitch needs a tongue for a lot of things, and I don't want to go around having my tongue cut out, because that's, I mean, obviously that probably won't happen, but there's a chance, and a bitch will not take that chance. Other than that, have not had any problems with it whatsoever. If anything, I've had a lot more trouble with my vertical labret piercing, labre, whatever you want to call it. She's been irritated, she's been digging into my lip, she's been bleeding, she's been a mess, but what can you do? So yeah, I would say if you want to get it. Obviously, do not go to no crappy piercer behind an alleyway. Go to a reputable piercer who knows what they're doing. Do not get snake eye piercings. And unlike what we learned in High School Musical, in this case, regarding piercings, sticking to the status quo in terms of aftercare is indeed the move. I think that's all that I had to say regarding my tongue piercing. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments and I will try to reply to them as fast and as eloquently as I possibly can. But that's all I had for this video. If you liked it, then good for you, and I will see you in my next one.